it's me, Shannon, the Spoonie Stitcher, also known as Peel, part of Tink Peal Club. My partner, Teresa, Tink, is absent today, so it's just me. Hope that's okay. We probably won't have a super long live unless I get like a lot of extra energy all of a sudden. But we'll try to stay an hour. So hope that's cool with everyone. So that's what's going on. If anyone wants to know where Tink is, she is at a funeral. So please keep her in your prayers. I would tell you what's going on in her channel, but I don't know. I mean, she'll probably have Battle of the Stitches tomorrow. And maybe she already set up Devotional Thursday. And then Friday, Duck Duck Dishcloth. I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know her schedule this week. That's what it usually is. But that doesn't mean that's what happened. So, sorry, I'm cleaning my glasses. So I don't know if that's her schedule or not. But we're going to go with sure. Anyway, what is everyone working on tonight? If you're new here, sorry, I am not prepared for tonight. If you're new here, this is a cozy little crafting club where we just encourage you to get your projects out and work on them while you listen to us ramble on and work on our own projects. And we just hang out and chat. Super chill. No real topic or anything. We just kind of talk about whatever. So I am working on a sweater. Y'all, I won Yarn Chicken. Look. That was it. That's all I had left. And I got to the edge of the corner. So I won. I'm not done with the back panel, but still, it's a nice little victory. So let's see who's here. Hi, Tanya. Hi, Katie Lou. Hi, Stephanie. Hi, Sonia. Yeah, just come on in. Come on in. Now, next week's Tink Peal Live, Teresa and I are going to try Restream as our streaming platform. See if we like that better than StreamYard. So we're just going to try it. May or may not work. Don't know. But that's my favorite thing to do. I just like to experiment. I don't know if it's going to work. I never know if it's going to work. Everything I make, y'all, I have no idea if it's going to work. But I like trying it anyway. I don't want a big yarn barf. I just want a little one. Okay, that's not so bad. That's not too bad. Stephanie is working on a vest. Your first wearable. Congratulations. That's a fun accomplishment. Which side's the front? This one. Where should I attach this? I guess I should attach it in the corner. Okay, so I need this to be 18 inches, I think. I think that's the number I came up with. When you come in, don't be shy. Say hello. We don't bite. 1, 2, 3. So as I said already, I am flying solo tonight because Teresa is unavailable. And so all you get is me. Sorry. And you'll have me by myself a few times this summer because Teresa has like ladies workshops and I think summer camp. And then this came out of the blue. So yeah, you'll have me by myself a few times. I'm hoping instead of being by myself, I can get extra guests because I don't like going live by myself unless it's going live late at night and I'm doing it and all you see is my hands and we're working on something. But, you know, it's fun to play off of someone. So we'll see. Maybe I can grab some friends for the lives that I definitely know I'll be all alone. Oh, I'm hoping that Andy, the Crafty Witch, and I will be able to do our live streams again. Hopefully this fall. We can start that back up again where we go once a month. We just hang out and crochet something spooky. We add a spooky twist on whatever we're making. And we call it Spooky Stitching. But actually, I think I came up with a cuter name. Y'all let me know in the comments. Do you like Spooky Stitching or Stitchcraft? Because I'm the Spoonie Stitcher and she's the Crafty Witch. Also, she's got witch in her name. Like, Stitchcraft is cute, right? Okay. But you let me know. If you want me to keep it as Spooky Stitching, I will. Vote below. Did somebody say Christmas? What? We will see when I finish it. Hi, Charlene. Hey, Heather. Currently working on a Christmas scarf for my porch goose. Of course you are. Someone else, please tell me, what is the deal with the porch goose? I need to know why the porch goose is so famous. I personally don't get it. I think it's cute. Don't get me wrong. I think it's cute. I think it's fun. I think it's novelty. Not for me, but someone let me know. What's the greatest thing about the porch goose? Still working on the April square for the birthstone blanket. That's Teresa's crochet along if y'all want to get started. And if you like the thumbnails, they were designed by yours truly. Granted, I didn't start the square until June. Girl, it's fine. It's fine. You want to know something? It's July. I just started my Decade Divas project. Cutting it close? Yeah. Do you have any tips for a beginner crocheter? Let me think. How beginner? Like you've never crocheted in your life? Or you've been crocheting for a little bit and you want some like, wish someone had told me before I started kind of thing? Let me know. Your name is cuter, I think. Oh, thank you, Stitchcraft. Isn't that cute? Can you please do story time? Maybe later. Maybe later, Nydia. Hold on. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Minnie Chu. Like, I know the common stuff. I've been crocheting for about 2 months. Okay. The best advice I can give you is get a hook with a handle. Make sure you're not crocheting with just a stick. Because of how our hands are made, if you have some kind of ergonomic grip, you'll feel like crocheting a lot more because you won't be in pain. And even if you're not in pain now, the more and more you use the tiny little stick, that's hurting the nerves in your hand. And if anyone saw Bag O' Day's story, I knew that was going to happen. I knew years ago that was going to happen. And I tried to warn her in the comments. I was like, you may not be able to use anything with a handle, but you need to. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to crochet anymore. And I live with a doctor, y'all. I live with a doctor. So that sucks. But yeah, so do not mess up your hands, especially since you just started. You have time to save them. It just needs to have some kind of handle. The other advice I would tell you is do not get rid of your failures, because nothing is really a failure. You're learning. And at the very least, take a picture of your failures, because you need to see how you've progressed. When you feel like you're not making any progress, you can go back and look at, oh, that actually looks like a square now. Or, my stitches have gotten more even. It just feels so good. It feels so good. I wish someone had told me that. They didn't. I'm telling you, you might want to try it. Let's see, what else? Make sure you master the basics before you move on. You need to really have those 5 stitches nailed down. So that would be the slip stitch, the single crochet, half double crochet, and treble. Make sure you've got those down before you move on. If you're worried about all you do is learn, all you're doing is learning stitches, or all I'm doing is making scarves, if you go to my beginners course on my channel, what we do is we learn a stitch and then we make a project with it. So that way every step is you're going to make something. You're not going to just learn stitches. You're going to use how to apply them. And you're going to learn how to apply every single stitch as you go. That's how I like to teach, is that because it frustrated me when I was first learning that all I'm doing is basically making a coaster because I'm just making a stitch sampler with all these stitches. What am I going to do with that? I guess it's a coaster. No. Let's actually make something with what we've learned. You can even make something with a chain and a slip stitch. I promise. Does that help? Okay. I missed a lot of questions. Hold on. Yeah, my hands do turn pink when I crochet for a little longer. You grip that hook too tight. If your hands are turning pink, you're gripping way too tight. So here is a science lesson for you. This is your hand. This is everybody's hand. Your hand naturally makes a fist. So if you just throw your hand like this, you have an opening right here. I'm not clenching my hand. I'm not trying to make a fist. This is just how you naturally have that little space right there. You just throw your wrist. I'll just show you. Ugh. See? You just naturally have a little hole right here. The reason for that is because you see how my hand, you don't see any of my muscles or nerves clenching right now? See that? See how nothing looks strained? Now watch. Oh, did you see those pop? Look. See that? That's because our hands are made in such a way that they need to be relaxed. So if you're gripping something, obviously our hands were made to grip. But if you're gripping something too tight, you're straining. These are nerves. These are nerve endings that run through your hands, and you are straining them. And that will cause real damage later on. That's why you need something that fills this hole when you're crocheting. So what I like to do is, I don't have them with me, do I? I put the little soft pillows that you put on kids' pencils to help them learn how to hold a pencil and write. I put those on the end of a lot of my crochet hooks, like my clovers and my tulips, because one, it gives me more of a handle because I have long hands, but two, I'm now filling that hole with something and my hand has something to rest on and I'm not gripping a little stick. Now these are a little bulkier. So again, it's still got room in there. And I have control even when there's room. See, there's a hole there. Hold on. Where is it? There. There's a hole there. So these are really good too. Something with a grip. That's why your hands are turning pink. That was a long explanation. I'm sorry. Okay. Michelle, my corgi ate one of my crochet hooks today. What? Biscuit has a thing for my ergonomic hooks. Good thing I love her. Oh, Biscuit. Oh. Is she okay? Because that can't be good. Oh my goodness. I'm so sorry, Michelle. Which would you do for a vest? The rectangle approach or the granny? How do you mean? Because there is a rectangle granny. Are you saying, would you go rectangle or square? Or, I'm sorry, Stephanie, can you reword the question for me? Oh, my failures go in my bag of shame. Oh. Yes, I made my very first amigurumi, or whatever it was. It was supposed to be a capybara, and it turned into a Kirby instead. Like, how? So you're saying instead of a head and a body, you just got a body? Oh, yes, hearts all around. How would that happen? Only thing I can think of is there would have to be a shaping element, which, by the way, if you're doing anything with shaping, that's not beginner. But if there's some kind of shaping element and you missed a step, maybe. Huh. Hey, Brittany. I don't know about that one. I think I'd need to know more. I've seen numerous tutorials, and a couple say to do it in a double crochet rectangle fashion, and others say to do granny and then piece it together. For just a vest? I mean, honestly, you could do it either way. Actually, there's a few ways you could do it. You say your back panel and then your two side panels, right? You could do the back panel as a rectangle granny, totally fine. And then the two front panels could either be rectangle grannies or a bunch of cute little squares. Or you could do it all as flat panels with just the double crochet back and forth and back and forth and back and... Yes, please hit the like button. Where did you come from? Back and forth. Or you could do everything as granny squares. Or You could do everything as panels. You could mix them up. You could do a flat back panel, and then you could do side panels that are granny squares or granny rectangle. There's so many options. Which is kind of the fun part about crochet. You can mix and match. Hi, Ashley. Welcome, welcome. Okay, let's see. Nadia wants story time. Let's see, what story have I got? I'm still trying to save some of my really good ones for membership, but we'll see. Well, we could talk about kind of a recent one, the hole in my ceiling. So, a few months back, I was in my bed. It was nighttime, but I had my overhead light on. And I was just probably crocheting, you know, ready to go to bed. And so I was going to turn the light off. And all of a sudden I noticed what looked like a shadow on my ceiling. And I went, I don't think that light's ever made a shadow before. At least not there. Because it was a little bit farther away. So like, here's the light, here's the shadow. Usually the shadow's about, there, but it's over here. It just looked kind of weird. So I took a picture of it. Because I was like, what is that? And I tried to zoom in on the picture and I couldn't really figure out what it was. So I didn't really think much of it, but the next day, it was still there. And I went, okay. So I turned the lights off and I just looked at it and I walked over up underneath it and I looked up. It was not a shadow. It was a water ring. Yeah. Big old water ring sitting right above my dresser. If that thing bursts, stuff is getting wet. So I had to tell my parents, which did not want to do that because we've already had quite the year, but I had to. So I showed it to them. Dad came in and took measurements of the diameter and everything. We wanted to make sure it wasn't getting any bigger. And a while later, we had I think the heating and air people come out because Dad went up into the attic to try and figure out where it was coming from. And it looked like the cooling unit, it has a drip pan. And if it misses the drip pan and it's dripping on your ceiling, so Mom and I cleared off the dresser and I moved everything in that vicinity out of the way. I can't move the dresser, unfortunately. So we just kind of covered it to make sure if it got wet, it wouldn't at least get ruined. So we put a big towel or something over it. And we got everything out of the way of the whole vicinity. So it's not a hole yet, but it could be. And so we got the heating and air people out. They came in. Sure enough, it's missing the drip pan. Better than that, the drip pan rusted over. So it wasn't even like functioning. So what do they have to do? They have to cut a hole in my ceiling, fix The internal structure, I don't know all the complicated stuff. I'm not a HVAC person. I don't know. Anyway, fix all that, repair the ceiling, and then paint my ceiling. Only problem is the paint for my ceiling no longer exists. The room, and because we found that out when my dad and I moved, thank God we moved it because I kept whacking my back on it. But I used to have a shelf unit over here. We moved it above another unit, which when you see my bedroom makeover, you'll see it. Oh yeah, surprise. We are also doing my bedroom. Anyway, we were going to paint the wall because it left holes where it used to be attached to the wall. They don't make my paint anymore. They don't make my paint anymore. So, I have the patchiest little spots on my wall. And the only way to fix it is to repaint the whole wall. And it's a long wall. There's stuff in the way, heavy things, like that's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen, at least not for several years. It's just not. When we move, yeah, we'll repaint. But right now, I don't care. So it just looks patchy there. I'm the only one in here. It's fine. Oh, I forgot to turn on my thing. There. Okay. Forgot about that. Let me think. Where was I? Yeah. So we already knew that paint doesn't match. So we can't paint the ceiling in that paint. So we had to get a ceiling paint. And it's fine. It's not great, but it's just the ceiling. Whatever. But I can't be around paint fumes. I have a type of hyperosmia. I don't do well with scent. I've smelled a gas leak in our home that a human shouldn't be able to smell. Hey, I saved our house. But yeah, I have a type of hyperosmia. That means whatever you can smell, I can smell 10 times that. And so it's difficult. And I have to move out of my bedroom for several days so that I am not around the paint fumes. You'd have to move out for like a day anyway, even if you were a normal person, because it's a small room and the paint smell would just be overwhelming. There's no way you could sleep in there. But the problem is I'm a Spoonie and I live my life in my bedroom, basically. My bedroom and my basement. That's where I live my life. My life is small. And so I can't hang out in my bedroom. So I had to move me and everything else somewhere. And hey, Mama.
Hey.
It's Dr. Mom.
Hi, everybody. Don't let me interrupt.
Okay. I'm just talking about the ceiling incident. Here, I left you a spot.
Oh, thank you.
She won't come on camera. She doesn't like to come on camera, but you can hear her. So I had to move to the guest room for several days. And when I have to move to the guest room, so does my world. And I'm really, really sad that also during this, I was having phone issues. I lost the footage of this room looking covered in plastic. And there was, it looked almost like a murder room. Because you got stuff covered in plastic everywhere. But yeah.
I love how your brain goes there.
Criminal justice in me, I think. So, yeah. But they patched the hole. They fixed it. You can't even tell. I mean, it looks fine. They did, however, get paint on my light. And that's frustrating. But at least it's not as bad as my wall. So yeah, was that good enough of a story time for you? They asked for story time.
Oh.
It was requested.
Do they want me to tell stories about you?
No, they do not. You do not want
They
that.
might. You're supposed to give them what they want.
No. I live in Georgia.
Well, that's not much of a story.
They asked. You said give them what they want. Hi, Crochet Queen. You want to just try and knit it? Okay, cool. So?
I'm thinking.
Oh no, she's thinking. This is not good.
Well, did they know that you could sing really, really well?
No.
Well, neither did everybody at your high school.
Oh, that's a good story.
So,
that's a good story. That's a membership story. That's
well, we could give them like a taste.
Mm.
It's not like I'm going to have you actually reenact.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It was good though.
So you want to tell it?
No.
Well, I wasn't there, so it's only secondhand information.
Teresa is at a funeral right now, so she's not here.
So when we were living in Alaska,
so can you all hear her? I think so.
Okay. When we were living in Alaska, Shannon was drawn to theater, and because she'd had, various chances to have training in that in Japan and other places. And she was really a really excellent stage manager. In fact, even the principal of the high school, if they needed something from the theater department, it came to Shannon, not the teacher. And
I was the stage manager, the assistant director, and the prop manager. It was a lot.
Yes. And even the kids, trusted her. They would come to her with questions, not the
director.
And but they were gonna do. It was your senior year, right?
Yes.
And they were gonna do the musical version of A Christmas Carol. You may have seen the one with Kelsey Grammer and Jane Krakowski and others. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And in the musical version, they actually have a role for Mrs. Fezziwig, and she sings. And when she sings, she has to hit a note all the way through the roof and hold it. And so when tryouts came, I guess what was going on, it was in the gym on the stage, but what was going on in the gym? People were doing stuff. Were they just making props or something? Or?
So what happened was we had our tryouts.
Mm-hmm.
I got the part. My director, no, this is the story.
Okay.
This is the story. We had our audition. I auditioned because originally we were supposed to do Guys and Dolls, but I went to a Christian school who decided a gambling show probably wasn't a good idea. They got letters from the parents. It was a whole thing. Guys and Dolls is a perfectly fine high school show. I'm just saying. But we decided to do A Christmas Carol, the musical. Who's going to have a problem with that? No one. So it was my senior year. I was super busy. I didn't want a big role. So my theater teacher was like, you only want to be Mrs. Fezziwig? And I said, yeah, I know the movie. I own the movie. She's fun. And so why not? And so he's like, okay. So, because as a senior, I get priority. If I wanted to have a lead role, I have a good shot at it, but I was so busy. Plus, we had someone who has never been a stage manager before taking my spot. And basically, I was the stage manager because she had a million questions and a panic attack, and it was a whole thing. But anyway, we did our first rehearsal. It was rehearsal day. And we were supposed to have the stage. But signals got crossed. We didn't get the stage. So we had to stay in our tiny little drama room. That is important to the story. It's small. And we had to cram a huge musical number, the choir kids, the band kids, and
won't hold them.
I know, and the theater kids all in one tiny little room. So basically, if you weren't in that scene, you were kicked out of the room looking through the little glass door because there was no room for you. It was so cute. Anyway, one of my very good friends, he played Mr. Fezziwig. And he was excited because I wasn't someone else who has played his girlfriend in the past, and they did not get along. So he and I got along, and it would work out fine. So what happened was I practiced my song, and he and I even practiced, and we were doing fine. But even he didn't know what I was about to do. And there's a moment where Mrs. Fezziwig says, Mr. Fezziwig's annual Christmas ball, and she holds this super high note for like 16 counts. I mean, it's long. Hey, Janet K. Hi, Rose. So,
you were told you didn't have to.
I was told I didn't have to do the note. They're like, it's fine, Shannon. When we get to that, what we'll do is we'll have the whole choir sing. And I said, oh, okay. I didn't say anything. I didn't fight it. So we get to the part, and the choir is about to open their mouths, and I hit it, and I hold it, and the whole room stops. Like, no one expected me to do that. The music stopped, the choir stopped, everybody stopped in their tracks, because I've never sung a note at that school. The only people who knew I could sing was not my best friend, but my really good friend, fellow ginger like me, and my boyfriend. That's it. That's the only ones who knew I could sing like that. And the room goes quiet, and everybody's jaw is like.
And the music teacher comes storming up to you.
But not before Wolf. He goes, that's my wife! And then we all start laughing. But yeah, then the music teacher came up to me, and she grabbed my shoulder, and she spun me towards her, and she goes, why are you not in choir? No time. There's no time. Your senior year is so crazy. There's no time. But yeah, I got scolded. But I got to keep my part, because well, okay, the choir is not going to sing over you. So it was fun.
So tell them how you got your serious vocal training from while we were in Japan.
Nicole McNeese.
Mm-hmm. Who holds the record for the youngest winner of the All Australia Opera contest. That's men, women, boys, and girls. And she's the youngest person to ever have won that.
She was 17.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And she was my vocal trainer. And I probably can't sing like that anymore. but it was fun back then. It's been several years, and my voice isn't the same.
You have to keep it up, just like running.
But I still sing. And in fact, a lot of the times when I'm making my tutorials, you have that dead space where you're just crocheting, you go around and around and around, and you can't decide if you want to keep that footage or if you're going to put it as B-roll, or if you're going to just cut it. So what I do is, to keep myself company, I sing while I do that. And I actually put a clip of that on Instagram, because some people what do crocheters, somebody put it out there, what do crocheters do when they're making tutorials? And it's this is what I do.
So what is the people who are watching right now, are they all working on a project?
I don't know. What are y'all working on? I asked that before. I only got 1 or 2 answers.
Maybe they're not doing it while they're watching you. Maybe they're working on it, during the day or something like that.
It could be.
Okay. I'd like to know what they're working on.
Someone's working on a vest.
Okay.
Someone is working on one of their squares for Teresa's crochet along.
Yes.
The birthstone blanket.
Yes.
Someone was working on their very first amigurumi capybara.
Oh.
Which apparently looks like Kirby. Well, that capybara would be this, and somehow she got that.
Oh. Okay.
Oh, and Heather's doing dishes.
My girl. All right.
Yeah. She's practical.
That's right. Well, you get the kids down, then you do dishes.
Let's see. We've got Tanya says, that's great. So funny when you shock people. That's amazing. I've sung my whole life too. Oh, awesome. Michelle is cooking.
Yeah.
But she's usually working on amigurumi.
Oh, okay. That's
Jana K is trying to complete a sock. So that's what she's working on, a knit sock.
Bless her heart.
Mm.
Yeah.
She made some really beautiful socks that look like watermelon. She made them
Oh, wow.
I believe they were for your mother, right, Jana Kay? Is that correct? I think so.
How cute is that?
They were. My aunt really likes to make socks. That's like her favorite thing to knit.
And she's good.
But she told my mom the other day when they were on the phone, she's like, I made Shannon's coaster, which means she crocheted, so I'm proud of her. She's not a crocheter.
She could.
She could,
when
yeah.
They were first married, yeah. But she likes knitting.
Yes, they were for your mother. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Crochet Queen says, I found out a family member is going to hospice today. Oh
no.
I'm so sorry.
So, can they tell us the first name? We'll pray for them.
We won't ask that.
You won't ask the first name?
We won't ask.
Okay, all right.
We'll just say it's Crochet Queen's friend.
Crochet Queen, okay.
Family member. Sorry, family member. Yes. So, while I have Dr. Mom here, we have an idea and we want to know if y'all are interested. So, I don't think maybe till next year. But if I opened memberships, what do you think of a monthly live where Dr. Mom and myself tell you stories and we also try new teas?
Oh, okay.
I thought you wanted to do teas.
I'm always wanting to do tea.
This is where I get it from, by the way. My tea obsession.
From your grandmother.
Really?
Oh.
Nana?
Oh, yeah.
Well, Nana was into sweet tea.
Well, we had a lot of hot tea.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. She never shared.
I was raised right.
She never shared this with me. I mean, I know I've seen her teapots, but
she was getting tired when you came along.
Ouch.
No, she was just older. That's all.
I love my Nana, my mom's mom. I love my Nana. She was a singer, an artist.
Mm-hmm.
She loved Broadway musicals,
and old movies. Mm-hmm.
Yep, and basketball.
And football. I mean,
yes, and football. That's true. I did
Yeah.
not get that gene. I'm sorry.
No.
Watching men run around in tights, chasing a pigskin, not for me.
No way to make it glamorous.
It's really not.
No. Although it put your uncle through college.
So anyway, do you like that idea? We'd share the stories that are much more embarrassing. I think if I'm going to like absolutely humiliate myself, I at least want a couple of bucks. I think that's fair.
Paying for humiliation.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
So how many of your viewing audience crochet and knit?
I don't know. Quite a few of them, though, I think.
Yeah.
Hey, if you crochet and knit, put a 2 in the chat.
Can I tell them about Mrs. Kurgan?
Sure.
They may not be interested, but it was fascinating to me. Okay. So long ago, when I was in 6th grade in a little town in Missouri, we had the dreaded teacher for 6th grade. It was the one you didn't want to get.
Mm.
And we got her, and it was her last year of teaching. We were so excited about this. and she was about 5 feet high and about 5 feet wide. But she always looked like $1,000,000 because she wore a suit every day, the skirt and a jacket. But she had knitted the suit.
A knit suit.
She knitted her suit. I can't even imagine how many skeins of yarn it took to do this, but they were fabulously designed and constructed suits. And she always had, I don't know what you call it. Sometimes they had frogs to close with. Sometimes they had metal clasps. But she was fancy with the closures.
Oh, like a shawl pin?
No, I don't even know how to describe it. Very European looking. But
okay.
But anyway, just absolute craft. I mean, it was art, that she wore. And so she thought that we all needed to learn to knit. So by 6th grade, I think you get like, you know, a little bit of a break after lunch, and then you're all hot and sweaty and you come in. And to calm us down and get us refocused for the afternoon, she made us learn how to knit. And while we would knit, she would read like Mark Twain, Tom Sawyer or something to us.
Yeah.
And being in Missouri, you know, we knew what it was like to go into caves and stuff.
Of course.
And she also had some of our parents in 6th grade. This is how old she was. And I just remember that my buddy, Bulldog, would tell us how her dad didn't want to go to recess because he wanted to stay in and finish his sweater. But anyway, it was
I love it.
Kind of interesting. The knitting didn't stay with me. I was not good at what happened.
Factory knot.
Oh, I'm very sorry. But just seeing somebody create something on that scale and it was absolutely flawless workmanship made an impression even on a 6th grader.
Yeah.
And so while I cannot crochet and I cannot knit, I can certainly appreciate a well-made item.
She's an excellent enabler. She'll just go out and she'll see yarn and she's like, that looks pretty. Shannon should make something with this.
Well, yes.
Yeah. Or she'll be like, can you make coasters for my friends? Can you make slippers for my friends?
Well, we all have our part.
Hey, if she buys the yarn, I'll do it.
So how many 2s did you get?
Oh, let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. At least 5.
That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow! Katie Lou sent a super chat. We got to do thank you for the super chat. The super awesome super chat. Thank you. Woo! This is what we do. Teresa does it too.
Oh, okay. We'll work on the jingle.
So, wow. Thank you. See, this is what you would get if you were a member because.
So I'd like to know among your people who are watching, how many of them have mothers who embarrass them? It's a ministry.
It's a ministry. Embarrassing your child is a ministry. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. I'll have to remember that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you do. I mean, am I the only one?
I doubt it.
Okay.
So,
do they have any comments or any questions?
Not yet. No one's commenting.
Would they like to hear about your hair?
My hair?
Like when you were little?
I can't take my mother anywhere. That's great. That's fantastic. I can't either. No, in all seriousness, my mom and I get along really well. We didn't used to.
Yeah, well, whose fault was that?
Both. Both.
No.
I didn't hear the question. Oh, does your mom still embarrass you? My mom does, and I embarrass my kids in return. Oh, good.
Yeah, it's the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
Kind of like guilt.
Humiliation.
Like guilt. Yeah.
Guilt and humiliation will last forever.
Mm.
Well, we got at least one person who wants to see us go live together.
Oh, okay. All right. They have no idea the stories that they're missing.
I know. I need to do, we should do like a test live.
Yeah.
That, it's like, this is the kind of story you could get, but we're not giving away all the good ones. It's just, we'll give you the one that's.
We get to talk about your dad, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. The Colonel shall be embarrassed. Oh my goodness. So, all right, I'll tell you guys one because it's going to be in a video, so you're going to hear it anyway. we were building the towers. Nadia, another story time if you're happy. So my dad and I were building the towers, and he is gluing the side pieces that have to lock in. So there's two pieces, and then there's a piece like this that has to lock in. You either put it on the outside or the inside, and it matters where you put it. So he's gluing it, and I go, nope. And he goes, what? I said, it doesn't go there. And he said, yes, it does. No, it doesn't, because he just glued the other side. And I was like, look. And he goes, you know, this is why every carpenter has an assistant. And I said, well, just call me Al. And he didn't get it for a few seconds. And then he came back to me and he goes, Al? I said, yeah. I said, and you know, I regret not saying, I don't think so, Tim. He goes, oh. I wish I'd been quicker instead of nope. I was like, I wish I'd said, I don't think so, Tim. One of the funniest things in our family is one of my uncles calls my father the Colonel. That he doesn't call him his name. He calls him the Colonel. And I do that when we are in like a store or something, because everybody can have his name. His name is actually pretty common. So everybody can have his name. And so when he doesn't respond, I yell, I go, Colonel. And he turns, because it could be him. And it is.
So tell him about, was it in Japan?
Oh.
Yeah, where Colonel wasn't even.
Okay. He's also could be called a commander. He was in the military. We were at a picnic table, a very long picnic table. And a friend of mine was next to me, and she needed my dad's attention for something. And she kept saying his name, Mr. our last name. She kept calling him, and he's not hearing her. To be fair, I think my father's been losing his hearing for years and won't admit it.
Too much artillery fire.
But she tried, and I said, call him Commander. And she goes, oh. And she starts yelling, Commander. And his head turns like this. And I'm looking at his face going, what? And he goes, did you just call me Amanda? And the whole table is like, what? Unfortunately, my friend gets easily embarrassed. So she was like, no, I didn't do that. And I was like, it's fine. But the whole table is cracking up. Her father is cracking up, and he's like, that's gonna stick, and it did, because sometimes when we are yelling for my father's attention and he does not respond, we yell, Amanda, and he turns. So whose fault is that? Because he turns. I mean, if you weren't going to respond to the name, don't turn.
So do any of them have relatives who are hard of hearing? And
I don't know. So, yeah. Oh, it's somebody's birthday. Happy birthday. Wait. I think I can do balloons. Or confetti. Confetti. And balloons. There we go. Yay! Happy birthday.
Why don't you sing happy birthday in Hebrew?
No.
Oh.
Maybe for members.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh,
what?
I'm so sorry, Michelle.
What happened?
I don't want to read that out loud.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people's moms are gone.
Oh, I hate that.
My dad's whole family is deaf.
Sorry, that's not funny. That is not funny.
Oh.
But there can be a familial.
She's laughing. She said LOL. So.
Well, you used to translate ASL at Deaf Church in Alaska.
I was a sign language interpreter. I was an interpreter there was a girl. So I went to a deaf church for my experience and my class. I was taking ASL, and I needed it for the experience. But I was a little farther along than the rest of my class because I've been fascinated with the deaf culture and ASL for years. In fact, if you've never seen Sue Thomas FBI, it's on Tubi.
Yes,
go watch.
Yes.
Go watch. It's a true story.
Yeah.
Go watch. So, I was a sign language. I was pretty good. And the pastor and his wife thought I was good enough to help this girl. So
special needs.
She was special needs. She was 27 years old. I was 18. but her brain couldn't get past like a second grade level. So speaking to her and stuff, it was still like talking to a child because her brain couldn't conceptualize anything past around a second grade level. So what he asked me to do, hardest job I've ever had in my life. And I've had like some physically draining jobs, but this beats it all. He did not tell me his sermon. So I am watching him do his sermon in ASL.
Yeah, no speaking.
No speaking. And then I have to translate what he said as if I'm talking to a child. Live.
Mm-hmm. Simultaneous.
Thankfully, he never preached on like the really complicated subjects, but oh my goodness, hardest job I've ever had in my life. It also told me I don't want to be an interpreter. But it was good practice, and I hope I helped her. She was very sweet. She liked to talk about trees. She did this all the time. And I was like, are you fascinated with trees? I don't understand why so many trees, but okay, I guess she likes the outdoors. I don't know. So, yeah. Now, his wife, the pastor's wife, is hearing. She can hear just fine, but she was an ASL interpreter, right?
She wasn't really ASL. It was more...
Well, she was what they call sign English, which isn't good because sign English to someone who is deaf can be complicated. It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
It's
like make it up as you go. Kind of.
It is. And the thing that frustrates me is I still know a lot of ASL. I've helped people in airports because they couldn't interpret what they wanted to the we were in this airport one time and this guy wanted a strawberry smoothie and he was just dying for a strawberry smoothie and he couldn't get it across to the little guy at the counter. We start having a conversation with his wife. Mom drops that I know ASL. He grabs me and he goes, would you interpret for me? And I was like, sure. So he wanted a strawberry smoothie. The poor guy just wanted a strawberry smoothie. So I helped him order his food.
But, it's frustrating. Even when they fly, they'll hand him a Braille menu.
I don't understand that.
Like, what?
Braille is blind, not deaf. I don't understand why they don't understand that. It just train all the flight attendants, please. At the very least, train every flight attendant to know toilet, food, and water.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly interpreter. I need an interpreter. But yeah, the basics. Oh, and medicine. Please teach them medicine because pain it depends where it is on your body. So if you have a headache, if you have a stomach ache, if you have a shoulder ache, pain is just, has to do with where it is on your body, which is actually kind of nice because then you actually know where the problem is. And so when I was in college, I took an ASL course as well. And it was really cool because no talking. The entire thing was we had to sign, and it was a lot of fun. Except the night that my teacher was really concerned about me, and I didn't get that she was concerned, but she just kept focusing on me. And all I kept thinking is, what am I doing wrong? Am I signing something wrong? Am I saying a bad word? Like, what is happening? I didn't realize it because I was so used to it. When I'm signing, I'm shaking. And she just immediately clocked in that something was wrong. And she kept asking me what's wrong. And I'm like, you tell me. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. So finally, I know enough that I was able to get across to her that it's like, I shake sometimes when I am like overstimulated, or my anxiety happens later. Like I was already anxious, but then it happens delayed. And so it's like my hands are just going to shake. And she was like, oh, okay. She was really concerned, which was very sweet. But I wish we would have been able to communicate better. Yeah. But I have to tell you, it made me on my own go, okay, I have to learn medical signs. Because as a Spoonie, and I was a Spoonie in college, it's like I have to learn medical signs when I'm around the deaf community, not only for myself, but what if I could help them? Like, what if I need to tell an EMT something? Or, I need to know, like, they can't talk to the EMT. What if I'm there?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And the medical ones, I keep up with, because it's like, if I'm in a situation where, God forbid, I can't talk or something, maybe someone there will understand me, or better yet, I will be able to help somebody else. I didn't know this, but Milo Mannheim's mother she played Winnie Davis on Major Crimes and The Closer. Okay.
Yeah.
She was doing an episode of, I think, Law and Order, and they had a deaf something or other. So she learned a little bit of sign for the show. Well, she was in a real life situation where she had to use sign language one day. And she, like, somebody was like, does anybody know sign language? She went, yeah, a little. And she was able to at least help this guy who was injured communicate to the EMTs, this is his name, this is what hurts, and it's like, see, this is why everybody needs to learn a little bit of ASL. So, oh, hold on, we got
a whole bunch.
Yeah, we got a whole bunch of people. Immersive learning is good. I shake when I've overdone it. Tremors, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays, every business should have apps to help the deaf. Oh, that would be good. My dad has a cochlear implant, and the rest, the rest have enough hearing aids that nobody has really learned.
Mm-hmm.
I think everyone should learn basic signs. My younger kiddo still prefers to sign sometimes. Yeah.
Because little kids can do that before they can speak.
Mm-hmm. And teach them real signs. Don't teach them the ones that it's like, oh, well, this makes sense, so do this sign, because it's like, that's not a real sign. And if you run into anybody who's deaf, they're going to be
more.
This is more. This is number.
Okay, what's enough?
Enough.
Enough.
Finished.
Yeah. So.
And I was given a sign name, which is pretty cool, that only a deaf person can give you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, technically, you can have sign names if you're in a course, especially in college. Everybody has a sign name assigned to them. But if a deaf person gives it to you, it's a huge thing. It's like, I respect you enough that I am going to give you a name to call you. And mine means sweet redhead. My husband was the custodian for a deaf church when they helped teach us some. Oh, that's awesome.
That's really good.
They were very supportive with him, I bet.
So I don't know if people remember all the way back to earlier seasons of NCIS, but Mark Harmon and Abby used to sign.
Polly Perrette.
Mm-hmm. And it was because Mark had a nephew who was deaf.
Yes.
And I think he and Pam were trying to adopt him, but they had to learn to sign for him. And they even wrote a whole episode or two that involved signing, and they were pretty good, actually. So
that one time, I think Abby signed like SOS, and he saw it, and yeah, that was pretty cool. I really get really interested when TV shows have an episode where there's signing involved, because I'm always curious to, like, is it real? You know.
I'll ask Shannon, is that what they're really saying? You know.
Oh, that's what I was trying to say earlier. Okay, so we'll watch the news.
They may not remember this was a news story.
Yeah, go ahead. You can tell that one. That's fine.
Well, I forget who, what politician. It was for a big deal thing. It was like nationwide, and this guy is talking, and they had this interpreter up there, and they found out immediately he didn't know sign. He was just making motions. And it was for something really important. And busted like immediately. But yeah, I'll ask Shannon. It's like, okay, are they interpreting this even close to? But that's always a question with a translator or an interpreter. I mean, your dad's jobs and stuff, he would have different interpreters, and you really have to trust that they're going to get across, what you're saying or what you're trying to say.
You remember that? Yeah, that was funny. But we've had just local news, and I've seen people, and I'm going, that is not ASL. That is sign English. And an actual deaf person would not appreciate that. So
yeah,
I don't know where you got your interpreter, but they definitely didn't go to school.
So I was doing a whole retreat on the island of Crete in Greece. And while we did have some English-speaking people there were a whole lot of Greek-only speaking people. And I had a translator, and she was a lawyer, and her English was pretty good. And I told her that her job was to not just translate what I say, but translate what I mean to say. No pressure. But yeah, I had to trust that she was getting it across. So. And then in Israel, I would speak, especially on scientific stuff. Yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
And I was asked to speak one time, and there were people sitting up front, and they were doing simultaneous translation, one in Hebrew, one in Russian. And they were talking when I was talking, which is hard to get used to, and also different languages. And yeah, it's tricky to translate, and it's tricky to have a translator.
I was just telling them how to link their channel.
Oh.
It's the top of the hour, so that's what we usually do.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, we'll be watching the news, and I'll see this guy who's like, waterfall, and it's like, that is not the same as a river. It's just not.
Can you lean down the waterfall?
My favorite one was when this guy did this sign and he rolled his eyes. And in the deaf community, your face is part of the sign. And it's like, why is he doing that sarcastically? So then I figured out it's the interpreter who's annoyed, not the guy that's talking. But it's like he's like, and it's like, what? I think he was tired. I think he had it. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
So how many of your people speak another language? And ASL is included in languages.
Yeah, it is. Does anyone else speak a foreign language or had to learn a foreign language? I mean, I'm sure a bunch of you probably had to learn either Spanish or French years ago. French was the worst.
No, you had the worst professor ever.
Professor.
French is lovely.
I love French. I think it's a gorgeous language, but my teacher did not want to be helpful. So
she didn't even teach you how to pronounce things, which was really weird.
I got a B by the grace of God. Because every time I took a test, I'm going, just don't fail. Just don't fail.
She was horrible.
Oh my goodness, you have to learn facial expressions when signing. I took ASL and yep. That's so funny. I would be saying a whole other thing in my face signing, right?
Oh.
I am learning French and ASL. It's taking much more time. I took German in high school. Don't remember much, but I had a great teacher, so that's good. Oh, and welcome in Just Hales. Hello. I wish I could learn as easily as I did in college right now.
Amen.
So it's a little frustrating to have to kind of readapt. But I mean, when you're a Spoonie, you adapt anyway. I got not diagnosed, but I started to notice problems in high school. And then I got to college and they got worse. So every time they do a test or they give you a different medicine or something like that, there's side effects. Well, unfortunately, one of the greatest side effects seems to be up here. It really messes with my brain, all the stuff they've done to me, all the surgeries I've had, really powerful meds when you've had surgeries. And so my brain used to be sharp as a tack. And now it's kind of, I have a lot of Post-it notes. I have to remind myself because I don't remember something 5 minutes ago. But I have hacked my life for myself. I watch ADHD channels talk about how they use hacks, and some of them apply for brain fog. Like, what?
Like?
Okay, you know how everybody tells you, don't put it down, put it away. If you have an ADHD brain or brain fog or any kind of mental impairment up there, that is distracting. Because if you put it away, what if it's upstairs? Well, then you get upstairs and then you're like, I should clean the bathroom. Like, you were doing something, but it distracts you. So I learned this new one and I really like it. Don't put it down, put it close. So let's say you're downstairs and this thing goes upstairs, put it on the stairs. Because then when you go upstairs, you'll see it and you'll take it upstairs and you'll put it where it's supposed to go. But that way you don't have to stop the task you're doing. So you just put it near where it's supposed to go. So you put it close. It works. It's crazy. It works. I even have, well, I used to have, until I had to have a humidifier, I used to have a basket in my room of all the things that needed to go downstairs. So like when I was done with dishes or, you know, I borrowed a notebook from my mother or a book or something like that. I need to take things downstairs and they need to go somewhere without cluttering things. I used to have a little basket where I would, this is the stuff that goes downstairs. And then I had to have a humidifier and my table went away where my basket lived. So I got to reorganize that. But it's a really great hack if you have brain issues or like you're just the kind of person that I've got to focus on one task or I'll be distracted by 1,000 other things. Actually, this might work for Dad because he will see something and then The other thing I learned was my body can only handle so much physical activity. Now, I'm not talking like exercise and stuff. I'm talking like I can only go up and down the stairs so many times before it starts to hurt. I can only, you know, get up and move around and jump around and bend and stretch so many times before it's a flare. Like so many things. So I kind of keep like a mental spoon tally in my head. And I try to go, if I do that, that's going to cost me 7 spoons. But if I do this one, it only costs me 3. So I weigh my pros and cons and stuff. And there's other things. I've kept a little book because our lives are different. Don't try to be like everybody else. Do what works for you. And the number one thing I'm going to tell you is you need to go to the Clutterbug and you need to find out what your organizing style is. Nobody has to be Pinterest perfect. My parents are both crickets. That means they are very detailed and they like hidden organization. They don't want to see anything. My mother would have the most empty kitchen if she could. But unfortunately for her, my father likes appliances.
And you like ease of access.
And I am visual.
Yeah.
And it bothers her.
Stuff is out.
And it bothers her even more when she found out that Cass's rule at the Clutterbug is visual wins.
We may have to rethink that.
Hi, Patchwork Star. If I don't see it, it doesn't exist. Thank you. That's what she says.
I'm sure she's lovely.
Be nice.
I am. I'm sure she's lovely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can relate to brain fog. If I put it away, I forget it exists. Oh, okay. This one's really great. This one's one of my favorite Clutterbug hacks. Your stuff will tell you where it needs to go. Your stuff will tell you how to organize it. So one of my best examples is my hard drive. I have all my electronics in a drawer, but I use my hard drive basically every day. So I'm constantly getting it out of the drawer and putting it on the table to work on my computer. And I do that over and over and over again. And so I kept leaving it out because it's like, why do I just keep putting it away when I'm using it all the time? So I thought, wait a minute. What does Cass say? Your stuff will tell you. And it's true. That means I need an organization system that keeps it not cluttered, but it keeps the hard drive out and accessible. So before we did the whole room makeover here, I had a little cart and I had a basket that was on top of the cart. And that's where I kept all my hard drives and stuff. And then they were just right there out in the open. I could see them, but they were contained. But they were still out and I could use them. And there we go. So they don't live in a drawer anymore because that makes no sense. Stuff like that. If you want me to do a whole video on like the Spoonie hacks I've learned in life, let me know because I will do that. My channel is not just about, creativity when it comes to art. It's also creative solutions to living as a Spoonie. Yeah, my brain is Swiss cheese after all the meds. Ooh. I am autistic and ADHD plus a Spoonie. Notes are my life.
Amen.
And I have doom piles. Oh no. But I know what's in the doom piles. I do that with reusable totes. I have one upstairs and one downstairs. Yep.
Excellent.
I do the 1% rule. If I have a task that has multiple steps, I do the first step. Put the dishes in the sink. Then if I get tired the next day, I can do the next step. Do the dishes. That way I don't get over fatigued. Well, that's a good idea. Hi, Patchwork Star. Did I say that? I don't know. Hi.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't see it, it doesn't exist.
That's the one. I said she's lovely.
You have fibromyalgia also. No, I don't. I was tested for fibromyalgia. I don't have fibromyalgia. But I do take a lot of the same meds. My friend and I compared meds one day, and she goes, she has fibromyalgia. I love to clean and organize if anyone wants to talk about it.
Get her name. Who is that?
Just Hale Creates.
All right.
Yes, if you guys want to link your channel so that more people will find you, just use !spoon and Nightbot will do the rest.
Like the word spoon?
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I probably should turn it into capital letters one day. That might actually make it easier. I don't know. So, this is the other thing I have. The bingo checklist. I'm very visual, and so I used to do checklists, but there's just something about them that felt kind of clinical and boring, and I don't want to accomplish the task because, meh, it's just checking off a list, and my brain is not engaged. But if it looks like a game, and you get to use pretty colors, it's fun. And actually, this works. I've gone through 3 of these now. I've tried it 3 times, and I really like it. So
kind of like our Midsummer Murders bingo card.
yeah. We'll have to show that on a live someday. We'll have to find one. Do we still have one?
Probably somewhere.
I use non-bleach and asthma pet safe cleaners. The least I can spend for the most payoff. How I like to roll.
Excellent.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that is cool.
Can I tell them about a product I just found out about?
Sure.
Okay, so bleach has its place, but not everybody can use it. But even bleach doesn't get your tennis shoes as white as they can be.
Mm-hmm.
And I found a product. It comes as a powder, but it comes in a bottle. It's called, what is it called? Whiteout or Shout Out? Well, I guess I should look up what it is. We'll have Shannon put that on the playback or whatever. But
I'll add it to the description box when the live is over.
Yeah. And I needed to get these tennis shoes white. And yeah, you just pour some in a bowl or whatever, warm water. And I just let the shoes soak overnight, and then you just wash them as usual. And they look like new. And there was no bleach involved. So and they were, kind of dirty.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, I was kind of impressed because it wasn't it's not expensive, and it does a different job than chlorine bleach.
Right.
I'll get you that for the description box.
Thanks. Do you have a link? Did you get it off of Amazon?
I did get it off of Amazon, so we'll get that.
Okay. Yeah, I'll link it.
Yeah.
In the description box if anybody's interested in getting your whites white.
And another product that I think you can only get from Canada, so of course there'll be a surcharge. It's called DD7, DIDI, and the word 7. And even the chemist at Consumer Reports says this is one of her favorite products.
Okay.
I think it must be like a petroleum product or something. I'm not sure. Comes in a tube. You have to read the directions. But different stains come out with this product and a different vehicle, using a medical term. Like most of the time you have to use hot water and this product, and you let it sit for a few minutes and you rinse it out and wash it. But sometimes for certain stains like rust on clothing, you have to use like lemon juice or vinegar and this DD7, and that gets it out. And then for silk, you have to be real careful with that. But if you have old antique lace or things that have yellowed, this will restore it 100%. Yeah, it's gentle. It's not hard.
Oh, that's good.
It's not hard on, especially older fabrics. So it's something that you don't hear about a lot in the States unless you read Consumer Reports. But it is a remarkable.
Remember how I told you I'm into research? Where do you think I got it from?
So yeah, it's something that you might want to look at. DIDI and the word 7, DD7. But I like the lady who tries to get the most bang for her buck,
So do we.
Yeah, especially for cleaning products and those kinds of things.
They can be expensive.
They can, and there are a lot of cleaning products out there, as you know from your research, that when it comes to like dishes and things, you don't really want the stuff left on there, or even some clothes. If people have sensitivities and stuff, it's like I don't want that left on my clothing. Or the brighteners that they put in laundry detergent is actually a coating on your clothing.
Ugh.
And if what you're interested in is clean, you don't need all that extra stuff. You don't need fragrance. You don't. So
you and I still have to do the toxic teas video. I still hear about people want that.
Yeah.
So yeah, Mom and I found a company that we basically have just kind of stuck with this one, but you can use other. Well, that's not true.
I found a couple different ones.
Yeah, you have the ones where you make your iced tea.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So we found like 2 or 3 that we really, really like these brands, and there's no bad stuff in them. It's just tea.
Yeah. There's no pesticides. There's no heavy metals. Yeah, just tea.
No tea dust.
Oh, you don't want that because it's really sweepings off the floor.
It's off the floor, people. One of the most famous British tea companies in the world, their tea is made of like half tea dust, which was on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
It's very disappointing.
It is, especially because they're, huge and British.
Yes, they should know better. Well, I bored your fans long enough.
They weren't bored. Y'all weren't bored, were you?
So, well, thank you.
We have 19 people.
Oh, is that good?
Yes.
Okay.
For me by myself? Yeah. Teresa usually brings in the people.
She's hilarious. That's why.
She is.
She's funny.
She is.
And so talented. Oh my goodness. Very talented.
I've been sticking to traditional medicinals. Yeah, that's a safe one. That's on the good list, so you're good. Let's see. I like Scrub Daddy, which whoop. Hold on. Sorry, the chat moved. I like Scrub Daddy, which can be used with cold water. I usually have to use free and clear detergent laundry sheets instead of liquid or pods.
Got it.
No, I like your mom. That's Brittany.
Thank you, Brittany.
Let's see. What is tea dust? Yeah, tea dust is the tea shavings.
It's just dust from when they dry. You have leaves.
Yeah,
and then it's such small particles that they call it dust.
Basically, you had dried leaves, and now it's so disintegrated it's dust. But it was on the ground, and they swept it up
and put it in the tea bag.
And put it in your tea. So you're also drinking dirt. And whatever was on the floor. Loose leaf tea isn't any safer. It depends what's in the tea. It also depends what's in the canister, and so many things. That's why I really do want to do this video because I learned shockingly scary things, and I'm a tea person, so it's like, So I've been trying teas from smaller shops, which I've got an entire assortment downstairs from this one shop that I have had for a year now. I really got to do that video. But they're a very small little tea company, and I wanted to give them a chance. And the Numi Tea Company, that's my favorite. Numi. It's in my Amazon shop. If you all want to see, I have a section for food and tea. Go to my Amazon shop. Jasmine green tea is really good from Numi. Mom likes the Numi jasmine. I like jasmine green tea. I like the rooibos tea. Any of them. And which is a red tea. Yes. Red teas, green teas, herbal teas, white teas, black teas. I think that's it. Is that all the teas? And then infusions, which is a whole other category. It's not tea. Yeah, it's not. It's really not. Yeah, but I thought the same thing. It was like, okay, well, it's the bags that are the problem, or it's these big companies that are the problem because they just use garbage to get it out faster and stuff. So loose leaf must be safe. It depends. It depends how they washed it, cleaned it, dried it, packaged it. Ugh. No, yogi tea is bad. Very bad. Oh, very, very, very bad. And Celestial Seasonings is horrible. Celestial Seasonings, which people give to children. Yes. So bad. Yeah. So bad for your kids. And you. But we'll do the video. We'll do the video. Yeah, we'll be we'll be thorough, and we'll do the video. We've already actually called some tea companies and asked them, how do you package your tea? What's in your tea? That kind of thing. Some of them won't answer, which I thought was funny. We've also looked it up online the best we can, but my mother can get anything done with a phone. The woman is like Superman with a phone. She can get anything done with a phone. She finds the numbers. I worked for the cold case unit in our town for a while, and I find people who try to hide. But my mother can talk to anyone, and they will talk to her. They will talk to her. They won't always talk to me or dad or whatever, but they will talk to her. So we say my mother has never met a stranger.
It's kind of like you got assigned a certain project when you were finishing up your criminal justice degree, and you were given this guy who killed a bunch of people, and they even wrote.
We all got a guy who killed. Well,
okay, yes,
people. It was about serial killers.
Okay, so yes, serial killer and
serial offender.
Yes. And they even did a movie about him. And when we talked to your uncle, he was saying, "Oh yeah, I remember, about this guy." It's like, "Oh my gosh."
Yeah.
So, all right. But information from both sides was scarce. And this guy's wife was his lawyer.
Yeah.
But anyway, I found her number and we called her. And you got to ask questions
that was crazy.
Yeah.
I talked to the guy's wife.
Yep. And got information. And then we called the guy who prosecuted the case. Well, actually, we also called the defense attorney. And we talked also, I think, to the prosecutor.
Prosecutor was a lot of fun because, of course, the prosecutor was on our side.
But yeah, I found the numbers.
She found the numbers. She started the conversation to like, like, hey, a college student wants to talk to you for a paper, and prosecutor, of course, was willing to talk to anyone because, they love to talk. Thanks, Shannon's mom. Not bored here. I like sitting with my mom again. It's like sitting with my mom again and having a good talk. Oh, that's so sweet.
Well, she can just talk to me anytime.
I've heard of them, Numi. I have some matcha rice tea from Numi.
Oh, good.
Hibiscus, yum, green teas, matcha. T-balls, JK, that's a sport. Okay.
T-ball.
Okay.
T-ball, tetherball.
Oh, okay. Y'all are very thorough, and I love the information. We're nothing if not thorough. That's our thing. It's our thing.
Annoyingly so.
I think that's why people like my reviews, because I'm super thorough, and I will use a product every way I can think of.
That's true.
To give it the best chance. Wait, conflict of interest, lawyer?
Yeah.
Celestial Seasonings was also linked to a cult at one point. Oh, good. Didn't hear that one. Just heard about what was in their stuff and how it was hospitalizing people. So, but the worst part about Celestial Seasonings is it's given to kids a lot of the time because they have a lot of
they have sleepy time and they have cough stuff.
Yeah, people use it instead of medicines for their kids when they're sick. But the problem is little kids haven't built up enough of an immune system yet to even fight what would be in there. And so they actually get worse. And it was awful. Don't give your kids Celestial Seasonings. And don't you drink it because, ugh. But, yeah. But my mother had a small heartbreak because her favorite tea company really let her down.
Truly.
It was sad.
We had to go through and dump out tea.
We had our own tea party.
We did.
The Boston variety.
Yeah. It wasn't. Yeah. We were protesting, but it sure was heartbreaking.
I hope that footage lasted because that was funny. Especially when my father came in while we were going through the teas, and he's like, "What are you doing?" and stuff. And we heard him in the background, and Mom's like, "Keep it in." So, okay. You saying goodnight?
I am. Good night, everybody.
Okay.
Thanks for letting me visit.
It was fun. Night. Love you.
Love you back.
That Twinings isn't her favorite, but that's not a good one. It was Bigelow. Bigelow. There's metal. Metal in the tea. I love listening to Crime Junkie on Audible, stuff like that. There are a few podcasts that I like to listen to. Unfortunately, I can't share a lot of the stuff I did because I signed my entire first day was getting me set up and tons of confidentiality waivers. So I can't share a whole lot of what I did, but it was cool. Basically, I found people and I listened to a lot of people talk. I didn't realize I would need to deep dive tea, but in my quest to be healthy, it's worth it. Yeah. We found some good ones though. Numi is my favorite. And thankfully, some of my other favorite tea brands, they're safe. They didn't do anything. Oh, I don't want you to share. I'm just saying I love listening to the journeys of investigators. So I will tell you, I was supposed to be a private investigator working for a law firm or police consultant kind of thing. And I went through the course and I got my documents in order to take the test. And this started to get really bad. Really bad. So glad I wasn't in college or anything. Like, this was just an extra course. Just a course for adults, you know, it's not college. And just like a learning course that you have to take in order to take the test. And I was going to be a private investigator because that seemed like, you know, I have the cop skills because I went to college for criminal justice. So I have cop skills, lawyer skills. That's why I'm a good negotiator. And all kinds of things. But then I had more surgeries, more medicines, more problems. I got sicker and sicker and sicker. And there was no way I could take the test because I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember enough. Again, I used to have an incredible brain. Now I'm just thankful it's still creative. But I'm glad it's creative because not only have I gotten to be creative like this, but also I have to be creative in just how I live. My world is different from other people. It's not going to work the same way. I can't eat the same way as people. I can't wash my hair the same way as people. I can't do tasks the same way as other people because that's not how I'm put together anymore. So I had to relearn a lot of things, and it's frustrating, but it also makes me really good at being flexible because things change on a dime in my life. So when my projects don't work out, I don't get frustrated. I just go, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something else. And that's what I try to teach all of you. I'm not a teacher. This is not a teaching channel. But what I try to express is the fact that when I say Spoonies can stitch it up too, what I'm really saying is keep adapting, keep experimenting. Just because you don't do it that way doesn't mean it can't be done in some way. I am crocheting a sweater in my favorite color. Do you have a favorite yarn brand? I don't know. I used to, but I just love experimenting with so many different ones. I like Premier. I like Hirschner's a lot. And Hirschner's has a lot of different brands on their site, but I really like Hirschner's Antiquity. I wish there were more colors. I'm still hoping that one day they make their Hirschner's worsted just as soft as Hirschner's Antiquity, because that would be so great. Aw, thanks. It's okay. I'm really okay. I'm trying to learn how to be flexible as I navigate relearning my life with new limitations. It helps to hear other people's advice. It does. And see, I don't have ADHD. I don't. But I noticed that some of their tricks make sense for my brain impairment. So I was like, why not? I mean, I get creative artistic ideas from balloon artists, glass artists, chefs, and apply them to my own crafts. So why can't I take one person's health issue and apply it to a different health issue? Again, adapt. I just really like seeing what's possible, you know? I like going through life instead of tunnel vision or just trying something the same way everybody else does it. I might still do that, but if it doesn't work, I'm not going to give up. Now, there may be times when it's like, okay, yeah, this really isn't going to work this way, and oh well. But I still want to see if there are other ways. For example, when I got my I-cord maker from Cato, they wanted me to follow these steps and teach you the same steps on how to use the I-cord maker. However, sorry, my nose itches. However, when I was trying to loop the thread through the little like latch hook things, it wasn't staying. I was following their directions. I was doing everything they said, but it wasn't staying. And I was like, what am I doing wrong? I don't understand. So I'm trying to loop them around, and then they get tight and they get tangled. And I went, that's not right. Well, I found somebody, just a random person on YouTube. I don't even think she's got a lot of followers. She said, make an S. Turn the dial this way and then make an S, and you don't even have to put it on the other two, and then just start the machine. And I went, could it really be that simple? And then that's the way I taught you how to do it in the video. Make the S, well, turn the machine, make the S, start the machine, and you're done. Super easy. But she didn't just go with how they did it. She was like, how do I make this simpler? She adapted and experimented, and thank you for doing that, because so much easier. That's the other reason that Teresa and I have Back to Basics boot camp on our channels. We taught you the exact same things. We both taught you the basics. But Teresa and I are completely different styles of teaching and learning. So you might learn better from another person. That's why we did it together and taught you the exact same things. Maybe your brain works more like Teresa's, or maybe your brain works more like mine. To optimize your success, we recommend watching both because you could probably pick up tips from both of us, but you don't have to. I did actually teach her some things. I was telling Teresa, I was like, did you ever notice how stitches look like shapes? And she goes, what? I said, stitches, they look like shapes. And she's like, I don't get it. And so I pointed out how different stitches look like different shapes: triangles, rectangles, squares, the pi symbol. And she was like, oh my goodness. But see, her brain doesn't work the same way mine does. And so she didn't see it until I showed it to her. And yeah. So instead of thinking of your Spoonie brains as limitations, think of them as creative little experimental pods. They're different than everybody else's brain. And that can actually be your superpower, because no one's going to think exactly like you. And that may actually prove to benefit you in certain situations. You know, there's actually a doctor on social media who says that she's for helping the chronic illness community. Except here's the problem. No one in her life is chronically ill, and she's not chronically ill. And chronic illness is a big envelope. There's a lot of things that fit in there. So you can't just lump chronic illness as its one thing, because it's not. It's different how everybody else reacts to it. It's different for everyone. Not everyone's Spoonie issues are going to be the same. They're not going to function the same way. For example, my best friend is a Spoonie. We are not the same kind of Spoonie. We both have issues in the same parts of our bodies, but our bodies don't respond the same way at all. It's crazy. However, when we talk to each other, we feel heard by the other person, because even if you don't have that exact issue, when you're chronically ill, there is something that you all share that's like that little moment of, you get it. You get it. And I think that's more important than a lot of the things that, you know, doctors and non-spoonies will tell you. Is like, if you're not in it, you don't get it. And that can be one of the most frustrating things, I think. Even if they want to help you. Like, I'm not saying they're bad people. I'm saying they want to help you. They genuinely want to help you. But if you don't have it, you don't get it. I have to raise the ceiling my own way. So I'm learning how to do things my way, and that's liberating. Yes. Good for you. For example, this doctor, she was saying that everybody needs to make sure they like walk for 10 minutes every single day. Every spoonie, you know, needs to make sure that they eat these foods and stuff like that. And it's like, no. Spoonies with GI issues, do not follow that advice, because if you walk for 10 minutes straight and you have GI issues, that may not work out for you. Also, if you eat certain things and you're a spoonie with the GI world or heck allergies, no, you can't do that. Trying to lump everybody in together as just the chronic illness community, if you ever see that on social media and they're giving you advice as the chronic illness community, move on. Move on. It doesn't matter if they're a medical professional or not, because it will not apply to everyone. That's not how it works. Yes, not having to explain the small frustrations because people just understand. Like, my loss of some independence was really hard at first. Same. I am very independent. You could probably tell. I am very independent. Having to have my parents help me with stuff, having to be in a store and being like, can you grab that for me, to an older person, and they look at you like, because I look like I'm in my 20s. Newsflash, so not. I just look young and sound young. But when I look like that, and then I'm asking someone who looks like they're in their 60s to help me, they look at me like, really? But it's like, I'm sorry, I cannot bend down to get that. Could you please just hand that to me? Thankfully, the heating pad actually does kind of help me, because they see the heating pad and they see it as like a medical device, and they're kind of like, well, something might be wrong here, so okay. That does help. Hey, Sarah. Oof, doctors, sigh. I went to my appointment, my cardiologist, about my new symptoms, and I couldn't explain in detail about the symptoms because brain fog. That is why I have a notebook for when I go to a doctor's office. This is what I want to tell them, because I know I'm not going to remember. I also try to insist my mom goes with me, because she's really good, because she's around me all the time. She's really good at filling in my blanks. Also, in order to go to a doctor's office, I have to be medicated, and the medication does things, and so that just makes things worse, and she's kind of my translator. Hey, Jay. I have a binder and updated questions list. Exactly. Then he said, depressed, anxious? I said no, and he kept dismissing what I was telling him and showing him and showing him from my Apple Watch. It's frustrating. And I get suspicious when I see people on social media only post the low stuff. Like, you see Spoonies that are supposedly they're Spoonies. They say chronic illness or something like that, you know, in their bios. And you only see them post the negative stuff. To me, that's suspicious, because it's like, really? You only have bad days? Because to me, that's just, I want attention. And kind of hard for me to take you seriously when you can't see any positives in your life, you know? But you feel about posting about them. I'm not saying people don't have depression. Yes, they do. I had it a long time ago. Then I found the Lord. But I still have anxiety. I still have things. But y'all see me and you go, she is so upbeat. She is so positive. Yeah. Because instead of letting chronic illness rule me, I just see it as, today is another day where I'm going to learn to adapt, experiment, and be flexible. What am I going to learn today? What am I going to do? What am I going to know how to do that no one else is going to think this way? If you try to turn it into something that you can learn from, that's experimental, that's adaptable, it's much easier to put your brain in the, instead of, I can't do all of this. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do. I definitely can't do that today. Okay. Did you get out of bed? Yay. Did you eat something? Yay. Did you write something down? Yay. Did you check something off a small list? Yay. Pick the small yays. They're not amazing, but they add up. And even tiny little bursts of awesome can make you feel good. Even if it's just, I got out of bed, or I got dressed, or I made a video today. I didn't edit it, but I made one. Good. These are wins. I won at Yarn Chicken. I posted about it because it was exciting. It's a small win. If you don't focus on the small wins, you won't have a lot of wins. Because big wins are really hard for Spoonies. Hi, Jay. I felt that way when my son, when I asked my son to change my daughter's diaper because I had a migraine and physically couldn't do it. I usually do have notes, but I've been feeling so wretched that I didn't. That's on me. I get the same reaction when I switch from walking to needing my wheelchair. Yes, I am semi-ambulatory, meaning sometimes I am amble, but I keep a binder of records and discs and records since my cancer surgery. It really changes my perspective on what's important. I don't get suspicious when I see people who are in a wheelchair and then they stand up and get something off the shelf, because I know what semi-ambulatory is. I've seen it. And I know it's a real thing. But I know the people who are not educated, they may see that as, so can they walk or what? That's on them, not you. I'm dropping in a thumb and leaving you to play. I have an early morning tomorrow. Good night, everyone. Oh, thanks, Jay. Night. I emphasize the dynamic of the dynamic disability part. Yeah. But I'm going to my GP, who is awesome and listens, doesn't dismiss me. Good. I do know depression and anxiety, but I have my coping strategies that work. Awesome. Look for your victories. Yes. I put the fun in dysfunctional family. That's good. I do have my lists to keep me motivated and feeling accomplished, even if it's just a small thing. That matters. Yes, it does. Small progress is good progress. People ask me all the time, I don't know your fill in the blank because that's not my focus. It's about what I can do. Yeah. Yep. Okay, I don't know if you guys have seen this video. It was so bad. I sent it to my best friend. It's this guy and this girl who are talking about their medical condition, which they gave it some bogus name. It's not a name. Where certain foods make them sick and they can only eat certain things. Y'all, it's not an allergy. It's not a GI issue. They weren't talking about pain. They weren't talking about anything. They were just talking about, like, this makes me nauseous. You're a picky eater. There's not a medical thing wrong with you. You're a picky eater. Because the stuff that they're showing that they can eat, all junk food. Basically, they're just on the internet not wanting to be judged for their junk food. So they decided to say it was a medical issue. And they got hammered in the comments. As they should. It's like, you're a picky eater. Just admit it. Let me guess. You grew up eating chicken fingers and French fries and wouldn't touch anything else. But that's also a problem because the only ones who know they're faking are real Spoonies. I mean, some people have enough common sense, but common sense isn't that common anymore. So, unfortunately, there are people making up problems every day. Every day. There's somebody coming out with something that isn't real. Or more and more of the chronic illness community is getting larger because people are literally seeing it as, oh, I can get views for this. And that's why when they come to my page and I look so upbeat, they're like, you're not really a Spoonie. I got scars. You want to see them? One looks like a shark attack. I got big old scars. Because I've been opened up, they might as well install a zipper. And for the record of being tired of dealing with the constant shift of changes of what you can do isn't depression, it's physical fatigue. Thank you. It's a part of the process. It's okay to be tired. Yeah, because your body is working 10 times harder than any other body because your body is in a battle all the time. There's a reason they call us Spoonie warriors, chronic illness warriors, because our body is always fighting. I have to say, though, I have a picky eater, and that is caused by his autism. He really does try to eat different things, but the texture in his mouth, he spits out the food. But that's different. The way they were describing this, these are just two teenagers who didn't want to be judged on the internet. Trust me. A topic I find fascinating is non-tasters. Purely texture-based, our bodies are so strange and mysterious. What kind of zipper? I don't know. Maybe hot pink? So when I had my mouth surgery, before I had that, a few months before it, I had a surgery for a zyphoidectomy. You can look it up. But basically, it's a piece of my chest. And you can live without a zyphoid process. You don't need it. But if you have zyphoidalgia, it's like it's infected, right? So they had to remove that. And the surgeon I had, he'd removed over like 3,000 of them, but I was the first one he's ever removed because of zyphoidalgia, so that's pretty cool. However, during the surgery, behind my zyphoid process was hiding a peritoneal hernia. It was hiding right behind it. So they also had to remove that. And probably the worst surgery recovery of my life. Not the longest, but the most painful. Because when they remove a piece of your chest, it hurts. And it hurts for a long, long time. Because think about it. Your chest is used for, okay, think about it. Your chest is used for breathing, eating, moving. When you just lean or change positions or something, it hurts. If there's been surgery there, oh my goodness, it's crazy. And so because of that, several months went by. Oh, my chest is now permanently sensitive to hot and cold, though. Nothing I can do about that. It's permanently sensitive to that. So, yay! Anyway, when I went to get my mouth surgery, which was months later, he said that he's probably going to have to like crack my chest a little bit because he has to move around. Because literally, mouth surgery, you have to move things around and snip things, and he's in there. His hands are in your body, and so I said, "Oh, I've had my Zyphoid removed," and he goes, "You did?" I was like, "Yeah." He goes, "That's great for you." So why he's so excited is a lot of the time they have to end up removing that anyway because there's no room to work. They have to be in your chest and your stomach, and they have to adjust things. And there's not a lot of room in your body. So sometimes they have to remove parts you don't need. But every time you remove a part, that's more scar tissue, more pain. Awful. No wonder these people were like seriously complaining about their surgeries. If you had to have your Zyphoid and mouths at the same time, girl, I don't think I'd ever leave the hospital. And so mine had been removed. It had been several months. It's healed. And there's now a big gaping hole in there. He was so happy because he could move around. I was like, well, awesome. So, yeah, I made my doctor very happy. But yeah, the surgery recovery for the Zyphoid was 8 months, and the minimum recovery for Mal's surgery is a year. But mine was 3. 3 years to recover from that. So yeah. But I'm grateful because I already went through horrible pain with having the Zyphoid removed months earlier. So I didn't have to have that at the same time. So that was wonderful. That was a God thing. Yay. So that was great. But it left the biggest scar. My scar goes from right here all the way down to my belly button. And I have a long torso. Like I said, they had to move things around. But he reused part of my scar from the Zyphoid because it's like, oh, I'll just follow this. Let me just tell you, when they reuse your scars, ow, you'd rather have a brand new cut, believe me. But I understand. Maybe he just wanted to make it look nice. I don't know. Right? I had the partial thyroidectomy and the side removed and started to go back. Oh my gosh. Does that feel strange? Not having a Zyphoid? No. No. Not even. You don't even know. I mean, after you recover. It could have been a lot worse. Thyroid. Most painful before the removal. Oh, your gallstone. Oh. I am so sorry. Oof. Yeah. But it's one of my favorites when, people that you meet out and about and they're just like, I don't think you're really sick. And what you want to say, but you don't, is, when they say things like, well, you don't look sick. How many of you have gotten that one? You don't look sick. You don't look ignorant, but how would I know? But if I wear a V-neck top, you can see a little bit of the scar. Right? Yeah. Isn't that great? They removed my entire thyroid at 32 lymph nodes. Very nearly had my cancer spread. Luckily, they caught it beforehand, and I was able to avoid chemo. That's good. My mama is a cancer survivor. 3 cheers to all the cancer survivors in the chat. I told someone they didn't look stupid and they opened their mouth. And then they opened their mouth. If I stand, I start swaying like a skyscraper before my legs give out. And then you'll find out if I'm sick or not. Oh no. Yep. I'll just go down. My dysautonomia will like mess with my balance and equilibrium and stuff, and I'll just start spinning, and I'll just collapse. I just always pray it never happens in like a store or a movie theater or something like that. Like if it's gonna happen, please happen at home. So I have had pre-melanoma, which technically is cancer, and I had it in my arm. And I have a big old scar on the back of my arm. And I was awake during my surgery. They just numbed it up. I mean, they let you feel like a little bit tired, not loopy, but just kind of like groggy. And so they did my surgery and I was awake. And my doctor goes, well, surgeon says, oh, I'm going to have to go deeper. It's deeper than I thought. So he does. He's pretty sure, and so am I, when he was in there, he nicked a nerve. Because now I tingle in my fingertips, my arms, my whole body. So that didn't happen until that surgery, and now I have nerve problems. And, you know, people are like, why aren't you angrier? And I just have to think, there's got to be a reason for this. I don't know what it is, but there's got to be a reason that I'm like this. Maybe it's so I learn that being independent and asking for help is fine. Maybe it's so I learn that, you know, learn to adapt, learn to be flexible, learn to experiment. Maybe it's so I can be an inspiration for one of you. I don't know, but I am sure there is a reason for this. I just don't know what it is. I had a CABG triple bypass. Took over a year not to have pain moving my upper body. In there, not a triple bypass, but same girl. Yeah, this was super fun. Tingling's no fun. Are they different flavors of tingling like mine? Mine feel like electrical pulses. That's why I don't like a TENS unit, because I feel like I have a TENS unit in me. And so, yeah, it feels, it's creepy. It's creepy. I don't know. I don't love it. It's creepy. Oh, really? Brittany, that's so sweet. Thank you. I'm glad I inspire you. The tingles are the worst. I'm currently diagnosed with a nerve issue. Hopefully they tell me which one and how to manage it eventually. Mine just says neuralgia. Neuralgia and neuropathy. Super vague. Because again, if it just happened during a surgery and he nicked a nerve, that's not really a condition. That's just a, well, I scarred you for life. And not just here. Yep. Pillow against your chest every time you moved. Yes, preach, girl. Same. I have my hospital pillow. I still have it. I still have my hospital pillow. However, when I was in the hospital for Mouse, and you have to stay for like a week, And then because we had to travel to Connecticut to do this, I had to stay for almost a month in this cute little, I don't know, it was like living in a house. Basically, we brought all our stuff with us and we basically lived in Connecticut for almost a month. And because I had to go back for checkups and stuff, and so we couldn't leave Connecticut. That's actually where I got to meet my friend Lemon. She drove all the way from New Jersey to stay with me. Love you, girl. And that is one of the reasons why I spoil her, because if she can drive all the way from New Jersey, I can make her a Haunted Mansion crochet kit. So when I had that one, they told me when I woke up, they've moved your body parts, so it doesn't feel good. I couldn't use the pain pump because I was allergic to it. And somehow I was able to survive on like the bare minimum of meds. But oh, did I have pain. Whew. But I guess I was the most pleasant person on the floor. It was like Grand Central Station in my room. People wanted to be in my room. Nurses wanted to be in my room because I was nice and respectful to the medical staff. And yeah, they liked me a whole lot more than they liked the other patients. Unfortunately, Mal's patients have a reputation for being whiny and hateful. I was neither. And they had pain pumps. So my nurse was kind of a drill sergeant, but I respected that. I was raised military. It's okay. And so she was like, you have to stretch. Otherwise, you're going to get all this scar tissue. And if it's really bad, then they have to go in and surgically remove that. And I was like, that's not going to happen. So I was really good at doing my stretches. And I was really good at like making sure that I just kept stretching this. And guess who had minimal scar tissue? Me. Because I'm a good little patient. That's a rough flavor. I've had the pinpoint lightning strikes, pens and needles, cold fire, hot fire, electrical fires, waterfall up my hands, head, the whole arm feeling like you've been hit with your funny bone. Oh, I hate that one. Yes, Sarah, the arm one, especially after this surgery, felt like somebody hit a gong and then it vibrates against your arm, but instead of just vibrating, it's pain. Yeah, I hate that one. That was the same when I was in the hospital. I use a pregnancy pillow. It helps me so much. Kept me sane when I had to be sleep sitting up. I'm such a side sleeper. It was tough. That's sweet of your friend. Yeah, it was sweet of her, wasn't it? They should have your nerve condition listed as surgical nerve injury if they know it is, right? Look, never be mean to the ones who control your pain meds. You should stitch that on a pillow. I enjoyed my nurses too. I had so many. Somewhere there is a book where I wrote down every single nurse's name because every time one came into the room, I didn't want to forget her name, so I wrote it down. So somewhere I have a whole notebook of all the names. I wake up with it daily. Oh, I'm so sorry. I was apparently very flirty with my anesthesiologist. You know, whatever works. So, okay, I'll tell you guys a really funny story. I think it's funny. Spoonies will appreciate this. I don't know about the rest of you, but have fun. Anyway, when you are diagnosed with median arcuate ligament syndrome, what they try to do first is called a celiac block. Basically, they put a... Don't worry, I'm not going to describe what they do. I'm just going to describe the goal, okay? Because I didn't want to know what they did either until it was done. And then I found out what it was, and I went, oh, I'm so glad I didn't know. Anyway, they have to put a nerve agent in, well, not a nerve agent. that sounds bad. They're trying to numb your nerve to see how it responds. Okay? So it's like a test. And they try to numb that area so that no matter what you do, you don't feel anything. And they call it a celiac block. They're blocking the celiac nerve. Okay? So they wheeled me in, and there was this guy who was working in the room. I don't know. He was a tech or something. I don't know. And he was talking to me. And he was really cute. He was blonde. And we were having a conversation. And then they gave me the anesthesia. And I never saw him again. But it was like, I was having a conversation here. So, you know, but it was good. However, it was weird because when I woke up from the celiac block, I thought I was having an appendicitis attack. They are not connected in any way, shape, or form, but it felt like my side was going to explode. Thankfully, my mother was there, and she said, your appendix is on the other side, so that's not it. And the other thing is, you're fine, you know. We're guessing the way my body chemistry is, what happened is referred pain. So I had pain during the surgery, because when you wake up, you're not supposed to have any pain. They were confused. Even the doctors were like, what? You're not supposed to have any pain. That's the whole point of this. Well, apparently I had referred pain. So instead of having it here, I had it here. Of course I did. But the problem is, when you wake up from a celiac block, the goal is now you can eat whatever you want and we'll see how your body responds. And they literally want you to eat anything. They got me brownies, French fries, chicken, and anything, because it's like, it doesn't have to be good for you. They're not looking for like certain foods that are triggers. They're looking how your body responds to food and amount of food. Normally, you're supposed to be able to eat a lot of food because you've probably been hungry for months, even years. But I struggled with that. I really did. I struggled with that part because I was in pain, which again, I'm not supposed to be. But I guess my body saw it as, oh, you can't be in pain here, so you got to be in pain here. And it was hard. But the brownie was good. But it was really, really hard because the whole goal is, no, Shannon, you have to eat. But I was sad because it was like, but I thought I was going to eat with no pain. Eventually, that wore off. And I did get to enjoy some foods. We even have a picture of me eating a French fry for the first time in years. It's cute. It's kind of cute. So, you know, the block lasts, is it 3 months or 3 weeks? I forget. I want to say months. So that's nice. I mean, you know, you can still eat and stuff, but they needed to monitor me at the hospital eating. That was the problem. Like, yes, I can go to the hotel and get Chick-fil-A or whatever, which I think we did. But they needed to monitor me eating food in the hospital, seeing how my body responded. That was the problem. And it was really hard because I was in a lot of pain. And when you're in enough pain, you know what happens next? Nausea. What do you not want to do when you're nauseous? Eat. So thankfully, when I woke up from my mouth surgery, because I was scared. I was really, really scared about my mouth surgery because I was like, if it's anything like the celiac block, I don't know how I'm going to do. But I woke up really loopy, and then they tried the pain pump on me, and my mom said I started to turn red all over. Clearly, I was allergic, so they stopped that. And then they were like, we don't know what we're going to do because the only way to monitor her pain is through this way. And my mom's just like, well, do whatever, you know. And they're like, well, what if she's allergic to that? So, you know, my body's weird. But I made it through. If you want to hear about when my hand exploded, you can go watch my video all about my mouth story and my stay in the hospital, because that was interesting and way too long to put on a live, but there's a whole video about it. But yeah, for the most part, I would say I'm in pretty good spirits. I know it could be a lot worse, and I don't pretend like I don't have bad days. I don't pretend like this doesn't suck. I'm not going to tell you, you know, like, just think positive. No. Be positive, but be realistic. Try to find one good thing out of your day, minimum. If there was at least one good thing that happened, that's a win. One time, my anesthesiologist was a church member, and apparently, while I was out of it, I was talking to her about my dad's sermon. That's similar to ASFN. Anything that's scary when it hurts you, right? Exactly. Just to remind everyone, Teresa will be back next week. She is out of town for a funeral this week, so it's just me. And occasionally, it's just me for about a half an hour every third Tuesday, because she has Bible study and she doesn't get back in time. So also there will be another live that's just me this summer. Teresa has to go to, I think, a women's conference or something. So yeah, this is why we had to put everything on my channel, because I'm the only one here. For those of you who don't know, we can't co-stream anymore. It's just gotten too expensive. And Teresa, we can't have it on her channel because I didn't mind if it was on her channel, but the only problem was she's the one that's gone all the time. She's the one that has stuff come up unexpectedly, and I'm the one that optimizes us for replay, and I make all the thumbnails. I do all the links and everything. I do all the setup. I do all the advertising. I do all the event casting. So we chose me. So everything will be on my channel from now on. But, you know, she is here, and we will send as many people over to her channel as we can. Please keep sharing her videos. Don't just like and comment, but share the videos out. Email them to your friends. Share them on your community posts. The woman is trying to get to 3K, and I want her to get it by the end of the year. So please, please share, 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 share. The algorithm loves when you do that. Yep, I'm the moderator too. True story. Be positive, and some days you can be positively angry. If you used to run, it's good to tear paper and throw balls of yarn at the ornery end of your other end of your couch. Oh. Well, I like the ornery end. What's ornery about it? We don't know its story. But anyway, that's how I do my life. So I will tell you that you might start to notice my channel is going a little bit of a different direction, but I think this is going to be good. So some series next year, we may be done with those. Not gift or garbage. Relax. Gift or garbage isn't going anywhere. But some series might fade out. And I kind of want to have a channel that expresses more of who I am and less of, well, this is what I thought I was supposed to do because I'm on YouTube. But I don't know about you. Wouldn't you rather watch someone who's just being authentically them and doing what they love to do? So that's kind of the direction I'm headed. Hopefully you want to join me. If you don't, I'll find my people. But I'm just over here navigating life as a Spoonie who likes to be creative. That's about it. My philosophy in life is pretty much, well, that didn't work. So what are our options? What color is this yarn? It's so pretty. It is the I Love This Yarn print. It is called Make Noise for Turquoise. Make Noise for Turquoise. And they still make it. This is not one they have discontinued yet. Hopefully they never do. Yeah, I was never being fake. I was never being fake with you. Nothing I have done is fake. It's just more, this is what I thought I was supposed to do, if that makes sense. Like yarn hauls and tutorials and collaborations and, you know, testing products and stuff like that. Like, that's what everybody does. But I miss my Broadway bears and my corgis. And I miss talking about film. And I really miss baking. If my body feels like baking, I want to do it because it's rare and I want to do it. So hopefully you want to see it too. Because when I say I'm a creativity channel, I know YouTube so badly wants to put me in a crochet box. I'm not in a box. I refuse to be in a box. I am not a box. I am about creativity, and not just creative projects, but how I creatively live my life. Because being creative is beneficial if you are a Spoonie, because you adapt and experiment. Keep using the same words over and over again, but that's what I mean. And I know it's not going to get me thousands of subscribers because I will be a really different kind of channel. And to me, that's like you either find your people or you don't, you know? So if they don't want to watch, I'd rather you be a vlog channel than a themed channel sharing your life, not just one hobby. Okay. I may have to change the little thing where you have to like pick your category, because right now I'm how-to, but maybe next year it won't be so how-to. Maybe I will be more people and vlogs. I don't know. I am working on a really, really exciting project. And I just pray it works. Now, it's going to take trial and error because I am definitely not doing what the typical crocheter would do. Not even a little bit. So I am trying to do something so out of the box. And maybe I'll let my members in on it. We'll see. I don't know. Should I start memberships this year or next year? Let me know. Because I think right now, if I started it this year, I think it would be little tea vlogs. Well, not tea vlogs. Tea lives with my mom. We'll share funny stories. I'll show you things I got that maybe I'm not going to show the channel. Sneak peeks of my projects and stuff. And it'll be a very like community-based live. And then, of course, the membership posts would be sneak peeks of what I'm working on that maybe the channel doesn't find out about for months, you know? You can add categories without removing others that still fit, unless YouTube limits the numbers you can choose. I don't know if they do. That's a good question. I don't actually know. Oh, you know what? I meant to measure this. So that's that. Let's see if we got to 18 inches yet. Sarah, do you have memberships? I don't remember. Yep, we're good. That should be enough for the back panel. Yay! So that's the back panel. I know, I need to block it, but that's the back panel. So that is 19 and a half. That goes to my shoulders nicely. So yeah, that'll be good. So then I need to finish this off. Probably a cardigan. Specifically, probably a cardigan. I think that's what I want to do. Oh, you're not at 500 yet? I thought you were. You need more watch hours. Okay. Everyone go subscribe to Sarah. One hook, two hands. Get her watch hours, please. She's lots of fun. She makes cute shorts. She picks good music for her shorts. Okay, so I finished the back panel, which is on my little bingo card here. Means I get to check it off. Yay! Finish the back panel. No bingos yet. But we're getting there. Still a lot to do. Okay. So yeah, I think it'll just be, you know, this is the back and then the two front panels and then the sleeves. And then I don't know if I want to trim it in purple or not. Because I was actually thinking it'd be really cute to be Sully-Inspired. I don't know. Monsters, Inc. is having an anniversary this year. I believe it's 25 years. And it's my favorite Pixar movie of all time, ever. So I thought it might be kind of cute to like make a little slightly inspired, but not costumey. So I can just wear it every day, but it's not costumey, but it's just like a small little nod to Sully. So I might trim it in purple for that reason, but I don't know yet. I also don't know if I want to add pockets yet. I might. So I'm on my second skein. This was one, and I used part of the second one. I've got two more. So you're not that old? What do you mean? You don't remember Monsters, Inc.? Or finding out that it's 25 years old now makes you feel old? Because that's how I felt. I love when people online are like, you can't feel that old. You're in your 20s. It's like, I haven't been in my 20s in a long time. Sully isn't allowed to be 25 years old. Well, he is. So I don't know if I really like it. Maybe I'll make something Celia inspired too. That would be fun. She has a lot of fun colors to play with. My favorite character, though, is Mrs. Flint. Miss Flint. She's the one at the very beginning. She's like, you know, what's his name? Mr. Bile, was it? Aha, Mr. Bile. Can you tell me what you did wrong? No, before that. Can anyone tell me Mr. Biles make a mistake? There, the door. See? You left it wide open. And leaving a door open is the worst thing any monster can do because... One of the greatest things about Monsters, Inc. is the fact that within 10 minutes, you know everything you need to know about the movie. You have got the plot down and you don't feel dumb. They've told you everything in such a creative way that does not make the audience feel like you're spoon feeding them. Like, this is the main character. This is the villain. Like, no. You know within 10 minutes they have a scream shortage. They get their screams from children. They have an office. This is a job to them. It's not a, like, I like to scare kids. There is a scream shortage, so they have to do this job. Sully and Mike are obviously our heroes. Randall is obviously a bad guy. Like, within 10 minutes, you know the world, which... Brilliant. I made a Mike Wazowski hat for my sister-in-law for her first year of teaching of Halloween. She wore it to class. That's so cute. Best version of show, not tell. Yes. I am so old. One of my favorite Disney movies is Sword in the Stone. Brittany, have you seen my Melic adventure where I turned the bats? So you know the duel in Sword in the Stone? I decided to take my little boop pattern and I was like, what if Merlin and Madame Mim turned themselves into bats? That was a fun one. I probably need to change the thumbnail on that one, but it was fun. Yep. There are 2 Melic adventures I would really like to do this year. I haven't gotten to do any of them. And I literally asked them, I said, can I do one like next year or the end of this year that's like, this is what I plan to do for these? And she said that she thought that would be really funny. So I might do that. It's like, these are all the Melic adventures I plan to do, and this is what I plan to make, and well... Yep. I've missed out on Zootopia, Elemental, Darkwing Duck, Chippendale Rescue Rangers. That one hurts. That one hurts. I really wanted to do that one. Dumbo. What was the other one? I feel like there was another one. May was all about Star Wars, so that's not it. June was Darkwing and Chippendale. I don't know what this month is. But in September, we're supposed to do Kim Possible. And I would love to do that one. I mean, hello. Would love to do Kim Possible. Hopefully I can do that one. Everyone crush fingers. I would love to do that one. And then October, they want to do Phineas and Ferb. I would love to do that one. I love Vanessa. I know I look like Candace, but I like Vanessa. I'm trying to convince my best friend to do the Busted spoof with me. So she dresses as Candace and I dress as Vanessa and we do Busted. But I don't know. She's kind of shy. Hey, Wade. What's the sitch? So it's funny. I have designs for a cell phone purse that looks like the Communicator. Okay. I designed it in 23 or 24. Like, I literally have a notebook with the date. What did Loungefly do this year? They made a small crossbody that looks like the Communicator. For the record, I had the idea first. Mine's not as fancy, but yeah. I would still love to make that. I think that'd be super cute to like take to the movies. And it's nostalgic for me because when I was growing up, I actually didn't have Disney Channel a lot of the time. I grew up on military installations and foreign countries. I didn't have access to like the Disney Channel very often. But when Mom and I discovered Kim Possible, we were both hooked. So, yeah. I was probably older than I should have been when I discovered Kim Possible, but that just happened to me for a lot of things. So, yeah. I watched a lot of like PBS Kids and we had Nickelodeon, kind of. We had TV Land. And people would send us movies and I'm old, okay? VHS tapes that they recorded off TV of TV shows. So how I saw the show Monk was my uncle, who's amazing. He recorded, we knew that the show was coming out and he was like, we want to see it too. So he recorded all the episodes. And then when he got to the end of a tape, he sent us the VHS tape. And then we watched whatever episodes he sent us for Monk. He also did that with an Andy Griffith marathon. There was a marathon, and so he recorded some for us. And one of the coolest things that happened was when I was living in Turkey or Israel. I don't remember. One of those two. They decided to do something on the military television. They were like, we're going to have flashback TV. And flashback TV was, they showed random episodes from all these different shows. Well, I'd already gotten really familiar with a lot of them because classic 60s and 50s, 70s television was kind of popular for what they would show on military television. So I grew up with Dick Van Dyke, Addams Family, Munsters, all of that. And so then, but they did show ones that I'd never seen before. But my mom and I knew this was coming, so she was already ready to record it off TV, and we still have the tape. And the coolest part is my father is in a commercial on that tape. His little military squadron did a like Happy Holidays kind of little commercial, and he's on the tape. So we can never get rid of it because it's like he was on TV, which was cool. Animated and kid-friendly does not mean adult exclusive. The best written ones have aspects for both, so everyone enjoys watching them together. I'm a huge My Little Pony Friendship is Magic fan. I think that show was not made for kids. I'm not saying that it's not inappropriate. I'm just saying there's so many things that are clearly for adults. They've got references to the A-Team. No little kid is going to know what the A-Team was, except I did when I was younger, but no kid now is going to know what the A-Team is. They might catch the Home Alone references. Maybe. Maybe the Indiana Jones references. Lord of the Rings, probably, yeah. Was there a Harry Potter one? I don't think so. I don't think there was. But I know there was a Lord of the Rings reference. And yeah, but I mean, like, stuff like that. Kids are not gonna catch on. You know, clearly some of that stuff was made for the older people. And one of my absolute favorite characters ever is Starlight Glimmer. She's very stressed. She's very high strung. But I get it. I love her. I love her when she was a villain, and I love her when she was a hero. I get it. She's awesome. Yeah, my mom and I love Bluey. My dad likes Bluey too. He doesn't want to admit it, but he does. We have Bluey. I have Bluey shirts. I had a Bluey Christmas sweatshirt, if you saw it last year. I have Bluey t-shirts. Somebody took the Bluey characters and related them to Bible verses, which was really cool. It's a small shop on Etsy. I have that shirt. I love it. Two characters in Bluey that I really like are Frisky and Chloe. Is it Chloe? Yeah, Chloe, the Dalmatian. I like the Dalmatian, and then Frisky is... I don't know what breed she is. I wonder if it says anywhere, but yeah. But she is the... Until she got married, she was the, you know, aunt to the little girls. Well, I'm an aunt to several little children that I'm not biologically related to. So, yeah. I think that's why I relate. But this house, above anything else, this house, we are Saturday morning cartoon people. Hanna-Barbera, Looney Tunes, oh my goodness, okay. The, you know, Mickey Mouse shorts. I love Stanley. Who remembers Stanley? They don't have that on Disney Plus. They need to. Stanley, PB&J Otter, Roly Poly Oly, Out of the Box. I love all of those. Again, I was older when I saw those, but I don't care. Let me think. Oh, Kraft Brothers. Not Kraft, Krat Brothers. Zaboomafoo. Not the animated thing. That's way, way not anywhere near my generation. But the puppet. Zaboomafoo. And Arthur. I actually thought about making Arthur tots. I think they'd be really cute. Arthur, Buster, Francine, DW, Pal, Baby Kate, Muffy, Binky, Prunella. See, there's so many characters. So many characters to play with. I have no idea how to do Mr. Ratburn. The nose. The nose has to be like the perfect shape, and that could be tricky. Well, we have been on here for 3 hours, so wow. Thank you so much for being here tonight. I don't have any other videos this week. I had a video yesterday. Oh yeah, if you haven't seen it, the video, part 1 of the Stitchery makeover, if you haven't seen it, go see it, because you get a little sneak peek of what's going on in there and why I haven't had videos. Sorry. But yes, go watch that video. And whatever Teresa put out, go watch that. I don't know if she's put out anything. And I don't have any more videos this week, but I do have 2 shorts. And they're kind of fun. So look out for those. Okay. Remember, life happens, yarn helps, and Spoonies can stitch it up too. See you next Tuesday. Bye.